What's good, family? We back at it again with another video. You already know who it is. This video is again another tips for young black males in college video. And I just wanted to definitely do the video. And I know you could say once again, dude, you're so late. I should have been doing this video a month ago, 2 months ago. I didn't, and I apologize for that. But at the same time, hopefully you can still use it in some context. So maybe instead of saying what to do the first week of college. I'm made tired of it what to do the first month of college. Heck, maybe even the first semester of college. And I'm just gonna go in depth and just talk a little bit and talk about what to do. And even though these situations could be a little bit different because you got to kind of balance it, it may be different if you go to HBCU rather you go to a PWI, or it could be different if you go to a community college versus a university. It could be a little bit different, but I think the tips would be definitely very helpful if you transition now from high school to college, or if you just transition from a different college to another school, or whatever it may be. I can kind of give you a little bit of some of the dynamics because I've actually lived it. Tip number one, I would say, when you very first week of college, very first day of college, very first semester of college, get acclimated and acquainted with the school. What I mean by that is the school is a basic layer of foundation of an educational system. That's all it is. That's all college or school is. It's a building where you get to learn. But within that, you will find numerous things. You're going to have professors, you're going to have classmates, you're going to have the librarians, you're going to have, everybody at a school. You're going to have the lunch people, you're going to have everybody. So get acclimated with the school. If you're not good with names, try to remember. Well, let me start with this. Acclimated in school, I'm going to give you 5 steps to that really quickly. Number one, start learning names. Whether it be a professor, learn that professor name by person. Professor so and so. They usually like to use their last names, unless they just give you other things. But Professor Johnson, whatever. Get acclimated with the name. Some people go through the whole entire. I've had people who've been inside class 3-4 weeks and tap me on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, I got a question to ask in class. What's the name of the professor?" Like, what? Why? Like, how? How do you not know the name of your professor? And I wasn't throwing no shade at nobody. I'm just saying you have to get inside there and know the professor. Let your face be present. Sit in the front of the class every single semester. Ask questions if you want to. Raise your hand and not wait till after class. Go up there and introduce yourself. And they may say, okay, yeah, if you may got all your books and stuff and just say, okay, this, whatever, go ahead, just introduce yourself. That's always a good thing. And so again, learn names. So when I say learn names, learn them in the classroom as well. You know, Learn who you sit by. Say, hey, what's up, whatever. Nod your head, whatever, but speak. Just don't sit down, and whatever, unless that's just a crazy person. So the choice selection is always a good thing. Usually people who sit right at the front are usually people who are the most attentive, or at least for some reason have some kind of plan of being there. Usually that's how it works, even though I've had a lot of people sit in the front and they've been just as crazy and not pay attention, stay on their phone the whole class. But usually if they sit in the front and they seem attentive, whatever. Definitely you're African American male. If you see another brother, if you at school and you're at a school where it's not that many of you, 9 to 10, unless that person is just crazy, they're gonna be pretty cool, or at least chill to know that another brother's there. So definitely sit by them. Say what's up. If you see a black sister, beautiful black sister, you just sit by. Don't be weird, don't be creepy. Just sit down by them, because if you go to a school where it's not that many of you, or it's scarce, or it's not real lot per class, they'll be usually generally happy to, or genuinely chilled with seeing another person there. So just a little bit, how can I put this? Just a little cultural add-ins to being in the class, or whatever you want to chalk it off as. So like I said again, to get to know the class. Number two, I would tell you everything that you learn in college, you're gonna probably learn outside the classroom. What I mean by that is you're gonna learn a lot by experience. You're gonna fall on flat on your face a couple of times. You're gonna go talk to somebody and they're gonna reject you. Maybe you're gonna go through the hallway and you may trip and fall. It's gonna be some things that's gonna happen. You may get your first F ever in your academic career in college. It's gonna be something there, so you're gonna fall flat on your face. So even if it's your first week of school and you got a pop quiz and you don't answer any of the questions correctly or whatever, it's gonna happen. You're gonna fall flat on your face. I would say the opposite of that: hit the ground running. That's tip number 3. This video is gonna be under 10 minutes. Hit the ground running. Don't be one of those who say, okay, you got classes or assignment that's due in the next 2 weeks. If the professor gives you your assignment sheets of every assignment that you gotta do, I don't care if they tell you the assignment 2-3 weeks ahead of time. Get started that very day. And as soon as I got started, I went directly on my portal, or I don't know what they call it at your school. I know some people call it Blackboard, some people call it e-learning, online learning, whatever. If there's a of equivalent of that, as soon as I get that sheet, I'm going directly online to try to see what it's about, and then I'm cracking open my books and I'm already underlining charting. I'm started studying the very first week of class. Um, the very first day of class is probably not going to be a full day unless your professor is just that kind of strict like that. So if you got an hour and 15 minute, 2 hour class, whatever, usually the very first day is, hey, my name's so and so. Here's your sheet. This is your seating chart. I want to get a chance to know you. Blah blah blah. This is the syllabus and everything else. And usually they're about half the time, or about 60-70% of the duration of the class, and then you're usually leaving. So just that very first day, use that time wisely. Like, so you can walk around, go to the library, check things out. Always say too, the very first week of class, if you got to get to the campus, if you live off campus, even if you live on campus, get to your class, go be on the campus 30 minutes before your class start, because you got to make sure you find your class. Don't be waiting till 15 minutes inside there doing whatever, and then wait the last minute right before class about to start. Go find your class ahead of time. And a lot of times they may change the room even that very first day of class. It just depends on. So definitely go find your class. I would even say go try to find your class a week before school, a couple of days before school. But if you just got to find that very first day, get there early. Also get there early to be on class. If class starts at 10:15, 10:30, 9 o'clock, 9:15, 12 o'clock, 12:15, 1 o'clock, whatever, you make sure that you're there inside the hallway, or at least sit it if the door's already open, everybody's already in there. Make sure you're sitting down 15 minutes before the class start, or at least in the hallway or at the door of the class 10 to 15 minutes before class start. You don't want to be late. You don't want to get into a habit of it. It'll mess you up. Your refund check. Don't go out there and go splurge your refund check and go spend all your money and just go crazy. Your refund check is money that's used for books, transportation, toiletries, necessities, foods, whatever you may need, so forth and so on. Don't go out there and go spend on nothing frivolous or on something crazy. If you can, do the best you can to spend on books and whatever. And if you have a refund left, definitely just go put it inside savings, because there's going to be some rainy days. There's going to be some dry days. There's going to be some days where you may not have a dollar to your name. And even if you don't do nothing but save 15% out of that, if you can have a clear-cut $100 inside the bank that you just don't never ever touch, I don't care what's happening. Like, save it for a flat tire, just to get some Fix-A-Flat. Save it for food if you're just getting extremely low on food. Save it for a blanket, or like, just save it for a rainy day, because there's gonna be some days that come where you can definitely use it. That gets me to my second point. If you don't get a refund check and you don't know how you're gonna pay for college, definitely get into work study. I don't know about like a lot of bigger universities, you have to kind of get work study a little bit early, but don't let that discourage you. If you're just now starting class and you have not gotten work study, definitely think about doing that. And like I said again, that's another way. Now, you may be a little bit overwhelmed. A lot of people say, well, I don't like to do work study or work my first semester because I like to get acclimated with college. If you're a freshman in college, or a true legitimate freshman, you're going to probably take English, math, and everything. You may need some remedial classes, or you may need some basic classes. But particularly with me, if you're just not struggling with classes, and you're taking something like Western Civ and Psychology 101, and you just don't have one of those crazy professors, if you pick your classes really well, you can fit some form of, I wouldn't say work, but you can fit some other activities inside that schedule. You see what I'm saying? At least try to, how can I get it, put yourself out there. When you go to the library, introduce yourself to other people. But anyway, going back to the work study at a small school. If you don't want to do it this semester, definitely do it the spring semester, or definitely do it sometime, but definitely start thinking about work study. Work study is basically a program that the school has that pays you just to work on campus, whether it be in the office and admissions, whatever it may be inside the little facilities part. But they pay. So even if you think about, you like, okay, I got to pay for college. I know I need some other expenses. Think about doing something like that, trying to get your off-campus, off-campus job, whatever. It's usually a lot of restaurants like right in the facility, so you can work there. Just get yourself prepared in that very first week. Don't. And then last tip I'm gonna say, because I said this video was gonna be on 10 minutes. Sit back and observe. Don't be one of those ones who just go crazy. Take a breath. Look at everybody else is doing. You don't have to act like everybody else, but just see how everybody else is doing. See what the atmosphere and the feel of the campus is. See how everything going. And just be chilled. Be calm. And I promise you, the more calm you are about college and the more you don't let anxiety ruin your life or ruin your actions, the better you'll be. So just be calm about things. You're gonna meet some very bad people in college. You're gonna meet some people who are gonna try to run you over. But at the same time, you're gonna meet some very good people. You're gonna meet some very good friends. So just definitely just be headstrong, be mentally prepared. I've never let anybody mentally shake me. I've never been afraid of anyone. So just definitely just be chill. And even if you don't know how to react, and even if you're nervous, don't show it. Just be calm about life. That's the best thing I can say. People always say, how do you get over anxiety? Whether it be social anxiety, whether it be just regular physical anxiety of experiencing something new. The number one thing, just be calm. Take deep breaths. Be calm. Wear a pair of shades if you're a little bit nervous. Do whatever you gotta do. You see what I'm saying? But just be calm. Just walk calm. Just speak calmly. Hey, what's up? It's the same thing. It's the same thing as anything else, as job, as school, as high school, as anything else, just on a bigger and grander scale. So just do that. And definitely just take accountability for all your actions. That's why I say get inside there and start early, because nobody's not gonna hold your hand during college. So just get inside there, just be calm, do your work, try to meet some good people, try to decipher and try to understand what people's intentions are. Just try to meet people and just live. The best thing about it, you're gonna have to experience life is through college, and just be respectful in everything you do, and just watch your back. Don't be putting everything out. Don't post everything. Don't tell everybody about yourself. Just be calm and just make genuine acquaintances, and the rest will come. When I say don't make sense, I mean, how can I put this? You don't have to give people your social security. Now, like, let you put it like that. You don't have to just be blah 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 blah, and at the same time, you don't have to be all tight-lipped and scared and nervous. Find a perfect middle ground. But that's it. I just want to tell you, the very first week of college, get acclimated with the school, start on your work, get your books. If you need money, try to figure out work study, try to figure out some work, try to get acclimated and acquainted. If you have a roommate, try to, just be chilled and calm and figure them out, because this is a person that you possibly got to live with. But don't ever feel like you got to be trapped and cornered into a situation. There's always a way to figure things out, and always be a way to get out of not get out of any circumstance, but figure out life and do you in any circumstance and be a positive result. But always think positive, be free, put God and family first. You already know who it is. I appreciate y'all watching. Hope that you have a great year, and as we have much continued success. Peace.